Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Molson, and yeah, about a week and a half ago, give or take, we got an announcement from iRacing saying that they had a big surprise for us. September 13th, around noon, they were going to introduce something so special that it was. They made it believe because of all the hype they created and everything that it was going to be sort of a game changer for the sim. Of course, everybody saw the announcement and everybody got real excited about it. We thought that it's got to be something very important. It's got to be, in my case, I thought it was going to be tire compounds. Finally, we were going to get tire compounds. Soft, intermediate, hard compounds, and this, of course, would add to the strategy of a race. Other guys went for, I don't know, rain. Other guys thought, it might be introduction of a car like the LMP, or maybe a Porsche, to add a little bit more value to the Le Mans race circuit recently introduced. The 24 hours of October. 24 hours of Le Mans just in October, this upcoming month. So we thought, it was plausible that they were going to introduce a car to add to the race. But no, instead we got this guy right here, the Audi 90 Quattro GTO, which is not bad. I like the car. I like the era in which it raced. In fact, it's always been on my wish list that someday iRacing was going to introduce classic cars like the Group 6. The Group C, the Group 5, during the WSC era. And it would have been awesome racing had they done so. But we got this guy, which is the closest I can get to it. And, all the hype they created for just a car, I was like, oh, man, because I was expecting much, much more. But in the end, I'm not entirely disappointed because this is a very good car. So, yeah, I took it around for a few laps here in Watkins Glen. The car handles awesome. It's an H-pattern shifter, heel and toe. So it's extreme fun to drive. During the video, this guy Hans Stuck said, you just press on the gas pedal and the thing just goes like a rubber band. And it's true. There's hardly any wheel spin or anything when you press hard on the throttle. So I took it for a few spins. It was awesome. And then I got here into the garage area. As you can see, one of the things they added in this particular car is that you can actually increase by 1 decimal, adjust the tire pressures by just 1 decimal at a time, whereas with the other cars you actually do so with increments of 5 decimals. This obviously is far more accurate to balance the pressure of the tires as they gain heat. So this is a great addition for this car. Sadly, it wasn't added for every car in the sim. And one of the things that got me was this here. This is the setup page for the chassis, and as you can tell, it's extremely basic. No spring dampers anywhere. We have roll bars up front and on the rear. Softest, stiffest. They have this here, the LCD selection displays, which you can select from the default settings is oil temperature and water temperature, and you can change these inside the car with the black boxes that appear on the right side, bottom right side corner here. You can change these. You can exhaust temperature, water temperature, RPM. Doesn't have speed though. Doesn't have that, but I'll leave them at default settings. Obviously, this is the two values you want to keep an eye on. You have your spring perch, your spring rates, camber and caster, but outside of that, that's everything. The aero package here. Damn, mouse is malfunctioning again. You only have 2 options: standard and high downforce. You can't adjust the rear wing. Add a little bit more, a little bit less, like with modern cars. But I guess that was the technology back in the 1980s. And drivetrain, you can actually adjust the gear ratios for every single gear. You got 5 clutch plates, preload, drive ramp wrangle, and so forth. Rear drive split. This is actually quite good for Watkins Glen, so we're going to leave it at default. Yeah, I mean, this is basically everything you got for setups. Now let's take this guy out for a spin. The car, you know, I've driven it before, as I said earlier, and the car has tremendous understeer. I mean, going through the S's, you have to get off the throttle to get through them. Unlike the BMW Z4, which you can actually take full throttle. Well, not here. Here you need to get off the gas, you need to modulate the throttle to get through the corners, and yeah, that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to go out, take this guy out for a test. Okay. So as I was saying earlier, these are the 2 LCDs displays. We have the oil temperature up here and the water temperature down there. And through here, in-car adjustments, you can actually change what function you want displayed. And if you check this knob right here, it actually rotates as you select each setting. RPMs. The maximum RPM for this car is 7,800 RPMs. There's no red light to indicate that you're approaching red line, so you have to do it by feel. You have to do it with ear play. Okay, so we got. You can also adjust the rear anti-roll bar, which is, I'm going to set this up to the highest level, not 10. And the brake pressure is just fine. You want to have those front wheels locking up before the rears. Okay, so let's go. Let's take this guy out. Okay, so I'm gonna go through the S's. And you'll notice I have to get off the throttle to get through them. Also, the sound of the turbo is just amazing. Ooh. Yeah, the understeer's simply. Yeah, it's an all-wheel drive car, so it handles very much like a front-wheel drive. Front-wheel drive cars tend to understeer quite badly. Feel pretty good back there. Red line. The steering of the car also seems also a little bit weird because it tends to dart from left to right. I'm going through the straight. Okay, come on. Going through the straights, you need to work the steering wheel and keep it straight.
1 minute 14.234.
Not trying to break any lap records here either. I'll be happy to keep the car on the racetrack. Sorry if I'm not commenting too much, but I tend to over concentrate when I'm driving, and especially with this car, which demands a lot of attention. I'm gonna go for one more lap, and I'm gonna bring it in. Oh no! Alright, well, I guess I'll bring it in then.
Looks like your car is towed.
Yeah, I know.
You'll need to tow back to pit lane, press and hold your reset button, and we'll come and get you.
Yeah, I mean, this is not bad. I mean, like I said earlier, I mean, I was a little bit disappointed because I expected a lot more. And one more thing, though, if you watch the video, at the end of the video, there's a part 2, which is coming on September 20th. Now, I believe that this might be iRacing's way of trolling us. They made a hype about this car and everything, and they just gave us a car, so everybody was kind of obviously disappointed. But then they're presenting part 2, so I'm guessing that everybody's going to have a little bit of skepticism going into this next Tuesday, September 20th, and that's when the real announcement will be made. I mean, I'm just guessing here, but hopefully that'll be the case. And also, if you watch the video again, you'll note that Hans Stuck makes several references to several things. For example, he mentions that his favorite car is the Porsche 962. This might be an indication that Porsche might be jumping into iRacing. Maybe they made a deal with the marquee, and they're bringing it in. And also, there was all the announcement was made in Sachsenring, which obviously, perhaps, we might be getting Sachsenring, which is cool. And outside of that, well, I don't know what else to expect. I mean, I wish they could introduce tire compounds again, but I'm keeping it real this time. I'm not gonna get overexcited or anything. I'm gonna keep it simple. And yeah, I mean, hopefully that'll be the case. But anyhow, guys, I'm gonna leave it here. If you got any questions, please leave them below in the comment section, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.